Yes lads, welcome back to another Education Hub video, and in this one we're going to dive through supplements. Why bother with supplements? What supplements are worth taking? What ones are not worth, wasting your money on? There's a lot of shit supplements out there that are scams to make your water taste slightly differently. So I'm just going to sort of decipher, give you a general overview of supplements in this video. And if you've got any questions off the back of it, always feel free to let me know. So first of all, we're going to go through why bother to take supplements. One really big thing about supplements is that maybe some people know, some people don't know. You can get everything you need out of natural sources when it comes to supplementation. Like, you don't need to buy supplements as such, because you can get everything for either for free, or you can kill two birds with one stone and get and eat the food as well as get the vitamins and the minerals from food alone. Like, you don't need to buy processed supplements. They're not necessary. They're not absolutely mandatory. Because, like I say, you can get them through natural stuff. Like, for example, you can get creatine through red meat. You can get vitamin D through sunlight. Do you know what I mean? Like, stuff that is completely natural and probably better to get it from those sources, because you're getting it from the direct source, that it's not being processed. Obviously, in some scenarios, it might be easier to get it through a supplement. But the general idea there is that they're not mandatory. These are also not going to turn you into Superman. They're not going to be the difference, that 10%, 15% difference that's going to either speed up your fitness goal. It's not going to get you to your goal drastically quicker. It's going to be a few percent difference that it's going to make. But they are worth taking if you want to take things maybe a little bit more seriously, and maybe if access to certain supplements might be tough through natural causes, which I'll sort of come on to in a minute. So, ones that I think are worth taking. So we've got a few here. There are some more, but obviously couldn't cram them all onto one page. So we'll start off with whey protein. Whey protein, it's an easy way to bring up your protein intake, and it's probably a slightly less expensive way to bring up your protein intake, because if you have 20 grams of protein costs you 70 pence, that's easier to do than, or should I say cheaper to do than getting it from meat, because obviously you can get all your protein you need through meats, through eggs, through poultry, through Greek yogurts. You can obviously get protein through your natural sources, but an easy way to build your protein intake up without spending a lot on meat and having to consume a lot of meat is whey protein. So that's a pretty staple one. Again, though, always, it's not necessary. It's not mandatory. Creatine monohydrate, that's probably your most one of the most researched ones, to be fair, that has shown increases in lean muscle tissue over long periods of time. Going back to my earlier point, they're not going to turn you into Superman. It might help you increase lean muscle mass, but like I say, over a long period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. It can also show good results in terms of like performance in the gym. With creatine, though, like I mentioned before, you can get that from red meats. However, to get 5 grams of creatine from red meat, you're probably going to have to eat probably about 1.5 kilo of red meat, of beef, which is a lot of beef. And it would be very expensive. That's probably going to cost you 15 quid to get that much creatine from one serving of beef. So that in this scenario, it would be a lot cheaper option to go straight for creatine. Vitamin D, sunlight, you can get that from that. But again, you live in England. Most people watching this video will live in England. And as we all know, sunlight is not something that we are in a surplus of in the UK. Most of the time it's cloudy or it's raining. So especially throughout the winter months, vitamin D can be a really useful one to take, because you're not going to get that much natural sunlight. Or especially if you work a job that is indoors a lot, you're inside, you're not going to get too much vitamin D at all, especially if you're in the office from 9 till 4. That's your whole sunlight hours, and you're going to miss out on everything. So vitamin D, that's another one worth taking. Omega-3 fish oils, I think these are beneficial, especially if you're if you're not a fan of like fatty fish like salmon or like trout, things like that, yeah, it's probably worth taking, because I know a lot of people can be funny about those things. So yeah, that's one that's worth taking. Electrolytes. I find these ones sort of on the fence. I find them useful, for example, if you struggle with water intake and you just struggle to drink a lot of water. Or maybe I might use this one, for example, let's say I'm training quite early in the morning and I haven't got the time to drink 2 litres of water, at 8 a.m. I might use these to make sure I'm hydrated before training. But the short, easy answer is drink plenty of water. Like, you don't need these. Just make sure that you're well hydrated. Like, just remember to drink. But like I say, they can be quite beneficial if you're maybe training quite early. You need to be hydrated for it. You can get those in, and you'll go into your session pretty hydrated without having to, drink 3 litres of water. So yeah, these are the ones I think that are worth it. The ones that I think are not worth it, we'll break these down. So sleep formulas. There's a lot of natural ways that you can increase your sleep. If you struggle with sleep, the odds are is that you're spending 30 minutes doom scrolling TikTok or Instagram Reels before you go to bed. Your brain is constantly stimulated through various factors throughout your day, whether it's, if you're looking at a computer screen all day, if you're looking at your phone screen all day, you're watching the TV before you go to bed, your brain's stimulated. So there's a very simple way to help you sleep, is cut those things off half an hour before you go to bed. Take up reading, just stare at the wall, like just use time just to detach and just sort of be a little bit more present and come away from the screen. That will help you sleep. Fat burners, shite, useless. The way that you lose weight is, as we all know by now, and most of you, on fat loss journeys, is through being in a calorie deficit, eating less than what you are exerting. So yeah, fat burners, they will not do anything. That's just a fucking scam to me. Testosterone boosters, another one, pretty much a scam. Unless it's steroids, it's not really going to boost your testosterone that much at all. I don't know anyone, I don't know any studies that have came out that show that natural testosterone boosters make a significant difference to increasing lean muscle tissue. Again, it's just another scam. It looks good. You see testosterone booster and you go, testosterone booster, that sounds good. There's no studies that show that these are really effective. Amino acids, branched chain amino acids, essential amino acids. Again, flavored water. These type of products, they look really good. They make your drink look pink. And you take them, and they are meant to increase spikes in protein synthesis and stuff like that. And then harsh reality is that it's going to make 0.05% difference to your progress. The difference that it's going to make is going to be so minute that you won't be able to see it. Again, it's just a way for you to spend 30 quid and not see any benefits. You might as well just get some Vimto if you want your water to taste nicer. So yeah, another one I would avoid. And finally, the big one, steroids. Just not worth it, lads. Unless you want to be the best bodybuilder in the world, you want to be Mr. Olympia, you want to be on that stage, and you want to win at all costs, take steroids. Other than that, if you want to look good for your holiday, if you want to put on some muscle, you can do it naturally. There are so many people who are living proof, people with natural physiques who look fucking fantastic, who have done it all without steroids. People on steroids are just impatient and don't know the actual drawbacks to taking gear. Like, do you want to take a few years off your life? Okay, take steroids. Do you want to increase the risk of heart disease and heart attacks? Take steroids. Like, people don't really understand the disadvantages of taking steroids. If you've got a slightly receding hairline, that'll speed that up. If you've already not got the best set of nuts, it's going to shrink them. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many drawbacks to steroids. I haven't got an hour. So yeah, just don't take any steroids, lads. And steroids come in different formats as well. Like, it's not just injectables, orals like Anavar, clenbuterol, things that you can take that are tablets that you wouldn't necessarily think are anabolic steroids, but they are. You might see a lot of people taking like Clen, for example, for a cut, and that increases their deficit and makes it easy for them to lose weight. They are banned substances when it comes to doing, in a natural competing show. Not that any of you guys are wanting to compete, but in a natural show, this would be a banned substance, which says something alone like they can't be beneficial to you, like they can't be healthy. So yeah. Just avoid at all costs, lads. So yeah, that's just a bit of a breakdown of some supplements there, what I think are worth it, that are not worth it. Any questions, lads, on any of the back of that, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one.